December 9 every year is the day the world celebrates International Anti-Corruption Day, with the primary purpose to promote awareness of a corruption-free society. The United Nations General Assembly approved the UN Convention Against Corruption on October 31, 2003 as the first step towards tackling corruption, and declared December 9 as World Anti-Corruption Day in order to raise awareness about corruption and the convention's role in combating and preventing it. It, however, became effective in December 2005. As the United Nations Convention Against Corruption celebrates its 20th anniversary this year, it seeks to promote the notion that combating corruption is everyone's right and obligation. According to the United Nations, corruption undermines democratic institutions, slows economic development, and contributes to governmental instability. To discuss this, we are joined by two gentlemen. Debo Adeniran is the chairman, Center for Anti-Corruption and Open Leadership, Lagos, Nigeria, and Awal Musa Rafsanjani is the executive director of Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center and head of Transparency International, also in Nigeria. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on the news.
Thank you for having me.
All right, I think we only have Debo at the moment, so just go ahead and start with you. Now, corruption and fighting corruption is an ever-recurring subject in African politics. Why is this so, and what can or should be done to help reduce it, if not eliminate it, on the continent?
Thank you very much once more. Corruption came to Africa during the period of colonization. The colonial masters, of course, like it has been described, lived like masters that they are. They had everything working for them. They rode in beautiful cars. They lived in good houses. They had the best of education. And everything were very rosy for them. And when they were leaving, they had their establishment that they left behind and handed over African countries into the hands of those who will protect their investments. And of course, who will also allow them to trade on the raw materials that are available in abundance in Africa, and to have access to all of these natural and even some unnatural wealth that are still remaining in Africa and not available for their own industries where they came from. So they handed over to those who also want to live like leaders. They want to live like masters. And they also needed cheap labor, those they can always put at their beck and call for any little job, that they might want to engage in. So through colonialism, corruption penetrates Africa. Those the colonialists handed over to were also given the coercive powers. They gave them coercive instruments with which they oppressed the ordinary member of the society.
All right. If I may interject, because the news time is pretty short, I just wanted to maybe speak more to what can be done to begin to address the question of corruption in Africa. Is it even possible for us to talk about eliminating, or we should be focusing more on reducing it?
Thank you very much. It is possible. There's nowhere in the world where corruption has been completely eliminated, but we can reduce it to a barest minimum that will not constitute, hazardous things for African people. First, we need to look at our laws, the laws that punish those who engage in corruption. We need to look at the the intervention of politicians on corruption issues. Then we need to look at what are the incentives that make people commit corruption crimes. We also need to look at those who are supposed to perform one duty or the other to bring corrupt people to justice. If everybody does the right thing, the lawmakers make good laws, they amend existing laws that will not take care or will not take adequate care of corruption. They make judiciary to be independent. They make anti-corruption agencies to be truly independent. And what we recommend is that anti-corruption agencies should not be tied to the apron of MDAs, not to be put under any minister. They should be truly independent. The law that sets them up should be amended in such a way that their funding will come directly from the federation account, talking about the way things are done in Nigeria. We should not, the anti-corruption agencies don't have to kowtow to the dictate of a politician that the Minister of Justice is before they can fund what they need. Anti-corruption agencies need training, they need equipment, they need protection themselves, and they need conducive environment where nobody will stop them from doing due diligence in investigation, due diligence in prosecution, and the witnesses, will also be encouraged to come out to bear witness against corrupt elements, because corruption crimes are committed in a conducive environment where those who have the power can coerce the ones with little or no power to commit corruption with them. Now, if whistleblowers are protected, definitely those who assisted the IHOB officials to commit corruption crimes will want to give evidence against them.
I know this is something you are passionate about, Debo, but in the interest of time, let's quickly talk a bit about the focus of the World Anti-Corruption Day. It is highlighting the link between anti-corruption, peace, security, and development. How can you just help us make a little more sense of this quickly? If you can do that in about 40 seconds, we will like it.
Okay, without justice, there can't be peace. Without justice, there can't be security. Without justice, there can't be development. And with corruption thriving in any country, there cannot be justice. It means that the inequality gap will continue to be widened. Those who have access to state covers will continue to help themselves, and they will get richer. And those who don't will continue to get poorer. And those who are getting poorer will be angry at those who, on the basis of the commonwealth of a nation, are getting fatter while they are milking those who have been already been over-deprived of their right to the same covers of government. So basically, we should look in the direction of implementing the existing laws, strengthening those who will implement the laws. I'm talking about anti-corruption agencies, and allow those who have committed corruption crimes to serve their terms in full, so that no politician, nobody will intervene on their behalf, so that the amnesty or maybe prerogative of mercy that the head of state normally extend to their those that they know, will no longer be the case. Because once if anti-corruption agencies detect the corruption crimes, they investigated it, they prosecuted it, and they got conviction. At the end of the day, somebody just came up and said that.
So, if I understand you, pardon and amnesty should. Yes, if I understand you, pardon and amnesty should not come in when corruption is at the fore. So thank you very much, Mr. Debo Adeniran, the Chairman, Center for Anti-Corruption and Open Leadership. We couldn't get Awal Musa, but you did justice to the conversation. Thank you for your time.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity.